Alright, so my machine just finished stitching out its design. It stopped exactly at the end of the design. It didn't take any back stitches or anything, and I need to be able to tie off my thread. Some people might finish their threads off somewhere in their actual quilt top itself. I like to do it in my batting if at all possible, because if there's any big thick knots from me doing it improperly or layering my threads, I'm going to trim it off when I'm done, so it's a great place to practice and hone that skill before I have to do it on a quilt top if I say run out of bobbin thread or something. So it finished its last stitch. I'm going to turn it on and I'm going to go forward and back. Okay, and you just want to go like 3 or 4 stitches left and right. That will be enough to secure your threads. Once you've back stitched and forward stitched a couple of times, it's going to lock itself in. I'm just going to move my machine backwards, and I'm going to grab that top thread tail that I've created. The bobbin thread on the underside is also just as long. I'm going to hold that thread in my right hand side, it's on my middle finger, and I'm going to go right back over the hole that I tacked my threads off. So right back where I was before I moved my machine. Then as I move my machine backwards, you can see it pulls up that bobbin thread for me. I then want to move my machine about 5 inches from where I stitched, and I want to pull on all of my threads so that they're nice and tight. And then I'm going to trim all of them. What this is going to give me is my top thread disconnected from the top, and then the part that's in half is my bobbin thread from that length that I went far away, and that got pulled flat against the back of the quilt, and then I snipped it, so there are no threads now on the back of my quilt. If I want to pull up my bobbin thread just to see how long it is, okay, my bobbin thread is as long as from where I left my needle before I cut, and then the portion where I actually tacked off my threads and locked them in. So you want to leave a bobbin tail long enough that you can pull it back up next pass, and you have to do that by pulling your machine back before you trim anything off. I hope that this video was helpful for you in starting and stopping your stitches. You can do it that way on a long arm or on a sit-down machine. The only difference is that instead of moving the machine head on a sit-down machine, whether it's a domestic or a mid-arm, is that you're going to move the fabric back and forth, and you're going to move the fabric to pull your threads back and forth. So it's just, that's the only difference in starting and stopping on a sit-down versus a stand-up. But those are the things that I do to ensure that I don't have long thread tails on the underside of my quilt that are going to get locked in there somewhere that I'm going to have to pick out or tie or bury. I do this because it's easy for me. If you like to do another method that works for you, that's fantastic. But I hope that this helps someone who maybe has the same mentality as I do when it comes to starting and stopping your threads for long arm quilting. Again, I'm Lauren with Bold Notion Quilting. I hope that this tip was helpful for all of you. Please like and subscribe. Take care and happy quilting, y'all. Bye.